What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians and friends. My name is Richard Ong, immediate past president from Rotary Club of 3310, and will be your master of ceremony and the moderator of this evening panel discussion on Rotary and Rotary COVID-19 responses. Before we start this evening panel discussion, I would like to have placed a caveat that the views, opinions, and discussions are personal, but may not represent Rotary International District or Club's views. On behalf of Rotary Club 3310, we would like to thank our technical host, advisor, past President Clarence Yong from Rotary Club of Kuching Central for organizing this event. May I introduce our panelists or speakers for this evening? On my right is District Governor Jeff Yong, past President Dr. Shahul Hameed, Charter President Chew Ban Seng. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. We want to do something that can open us and give us a lot of opportunities. COVID-19 has disrupted the global economic landscape and created the contagious effects and risks that has never happened before, both affecting lives and livelihood of many. Is COVID-19 the great leveler? When the novel coronavirus started and spreading like wildfire globally, how does Rotary and the Rotary clubs responded to this pandemic? That is our question. Are we able to create massive impact and reach out to provide assistance to the community? And how are Rotary and Rotary clubs and fellow Rotarians responding and adapting to this pandemic? We have to be realistic and don't think that we are able to predict when the disease will disappear. Without further ado, may I invite our first distinguished panelist speaker, District Governor Jeff Yong, to share with us the status of the current Rotary and District 3310 COVID-19 response and strategy. Let's give a warm applause to District Governor Jeff Yong.
Thank you, Richard Ong. Since very good evening to my dear fellow Rotarians and ladies and gentlemen. I know that tonight there are some of them is not a Rotarian. So for the benefit of all of us, I will just give a very brief introduction of Rotary International. Rotary is an organization of professional people. Today we have 1.2 million members. Let me share the screen first. Yes. Today we have 1.2 million members in 167 countries. Rotarians are always mindful and do anything we can to help each other and others. Therefore, we call ourselves people of action. Next slide. Let me see how am I going to control the next one. Next slide. Clarence, can you put me to the next slide? Okay. Let me see. Okay. The fellowship is our fundamental strength. We believe with strong bond of fellowship, we can respond to the challenges and open opportunities to serve to make this world a better place to live. We have a very clear vision statement that is, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create a lasting change across the globe, in our community and in ourselves. Rotary Club worldwide help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. As people of action, Rotary members want to find ways to respond to COVID-19 and to help people affected by it. The Rotary Foundation offers several options that Rotarian can use. The Rotarian can use to help care for and protect people in their own community and others around the world. Clubs in our district is no exception. We have in response to this COVID-19 pandemic, our district 3310 consists of Brunei Darussalam, Singapore, and 4 states of Malaysia, namely Sabah, Sarawak, Johor, and Malacca. We have carried out several projects to support the initiative of MOH to help to fight this COVID-19. We formed our COVID-19 response task force on 27th of March 2020. This team consists of 10 members from 5 geographical zones. We have 3 COVID-19 response strategy or programs. The first one is to approve 100,000 from our district disaster fund as a catalyst to ask clubs to our district to respond to the COVID-19 in their community, to give them 5,000 ringgit per project per club, and to be matched one-to-one. We managed to raise 150,000 of our first initiative as of today. The result are 45 clubs participated on 38 projects with a total cost of 737,000 total subsidies by district was 100,000 ringgit. Then the result for this initiative, we have a food aid to economically disadvantaged family with a total of 7,700 family benefited from the cost. That cost benefited from it with a cost of 100,000 USD, and we also provide PPE and material equipment, a total of 14,000 items with a total cost of 38,000. Face mask, respirator, and face shield, a total 88,000 items with a total cost of 34,000. Our second initiative was to apply for the Rotary Foundation Disaster Response Grant. That is a USD 25,000. We divided the money into 5 regions and intended to distribute 50,000 of face shield, N95 respirator, and disposable and reusable face mask. And our third initiative is to roll out COVID-19 Global Grant Project in 4 regions. District Foundation Committee has agreed to allocate a total of 60,000 of District Designated Fund DDF. In return, the Rotary Foundation will match another USD 60,000. So far, Sabah region has submitted 2 COVID-19 Global Grant projects with a total cost of 90,000 USD 90,500. That covers COVID-19 test kits, face masks, PPE, and food aids in Sabah region. And Singapore is going to apply for COVID-19 Global Grant project to procure some face masks and PPE and others item. I think this Dr. Shahul is going to highlight this item in a short while. And Johor Melaka region is working on purchasing medical equipment, medical equipment, face masks and PPE, sanitizer and food aids to the hospital and community. Sarawak and Brunei region are also working on medical equipment and food aids. So the total project of the third strategy is about 289,000 US dollars. In summary, the 3 initiative project cost is 406,000. That is equivalent to ringgit 1,750,000 ringgit. And the next phase possible we can mobilize of further 50,000 from our district grant. That is from 2020 and 2021. This one we can, when there's a need, we can start doing it now, and then we can reimburse from TRF for the district grant for Rotary year 2020 and 2021. Thank you. And this is a face mask that we are going to distribute for the for our district. Thank you very much. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, District Governor. Thank you very much, District Governor Jeffrey Yong, for your insightful and detailed sharing of the Rotary and District Response Strategy and Action Plans. We'll leave the question and answers or questions at a later stage. May I now let us give a warm welcome to our next distinguished panelist speaker, Past President Dr. Shahul Hameed, incoming District Foundation Committee Chair, to share with us what are the joint initiatives and action plans done by Singapore clubs, and to give us an update on which of the club will be the lead club for managing the upcoming joint initiatives in Singapore. Let's give a round of applause to PP Dr. Shahul.
Thank you very much. All right. First of all, thank you very much for the panelists, for my fellow panelists, as well as the organizer for kindly inviting me to speak on this topic. The topic that I've been asked to speak is about the joint initiative among the 23 Rotary clubs in Singapore as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Now, let me just take one step backwards and refresh you back in the first week of February, when the authorities in Singapore, the Ministry of Health, and the government, inter-ministry government agencies announced Singapore will be escalated to DORSCON orange level. Now, the panic sensation and feeling that you had was acute then. I think by now we've all gotten used to this new way of life. But if you, very interestingly, if you look at the DORSCON rate level, we've actually achieved everything except for significant number of deaths. So for that, we are grateful. We are very proud that the case fatality ratio in Singapore for the COVID-19 cases is probably one of the lowest in the world. Now, I shall just divide very quickly the efforts by the Rotary clubs in Singapore into two main sections. One, you have the individual efforts, the individual club efforts, and the second part, which is the more important part, I'll speak to you about the joint efforts by all the 23 clubs. Now, as part of the district initiative, the district made available some money, 5,000 ringgit, to all the Rotary clubs in Singapore who wish to do a project. Now, a number of clubs have taken up this initiative. This offer is now closed already. 45 clubs did 38 projects in total. So let's see how our clubs in Singapore have participated. So you can see this list. This is the list of clubs from Singapore that has taken advantage of this 5,000 grant. E-Club of 3310, Singapore East, Marina City, Queenstown, Changi, Pandan Valley, and the last one is Kampung Glam. Unfortunately, they missed the deadline, but we managed, through the help of the district, we managed to get the Inner Wheel Club of Singapore to come in as the donor. Now, this is not the only projects that are being done by clubs in Singapore. It's just that these are the clubs that actually receive some grant from the district so that they can help to subsidize their project or make their project a little bit bigger. Now, clubs also did quite a number of their own projects. You can see from the pictures here, some clubs came together and prepared oral hygiene and personal hygiene items. Other clubs came together and packed some instant drinks and some items that may be useful for them. On the bottom right, preparing of food packets for those who are living in rental flats and those who are affected by the COVID-19. And on the top right, you can see the effort done by Rotary Club of Raffles City. Rotary Club of Raffles City has their main project for this year was to renovate an interim center. It came really useful during this situation of COVID-19, where they are able to accept 24 hours on a 24/7 basis, anybody who needs a temporary shelter and respite from the COVID-19 pandemic. Rotary Club Singapore also did quite a number of work on its own. On the top right, you can see if you look at the screen on the top left, these are the Sri Lankan students. We had 100 Sri Lankan students that were, for some reason, unable to go back home when the pandemic started, and they were sort of had to stay back in Singapore. So we provided food. This request came from the Sri Lankan High Commission. So in typical Rotary Club Singapore style, we gave them books of humor as well to keep themselves entertained. The Rotary Club Singapore also worked with the Foreign Workers Dormitory together with the Alliance of Guest Workers Outreach, where we provided rations for 15 days for 123 workers. So these are the individual efforts from the different clubs, and I'm sure there are more and more clubs that have done just as much work. These are some latest photographs that I received from Rotary Club Kampung Glam. I know some of their members are here, so congratulations, Charter President Tengku, as well as the other members who are involved. A great job that you guys are doing, as you can see from the effort here. What I would suggest at this point is, if we can somehow or other do a concerted effort to put all these efforts together and make it into a nice presentation, not only to remind us what we did for this COVID-19, but it's also going to be a great Rotary public image exercise that we can use anytime in the future. Yes, we don't have a situation that they have in India or in Africa, but this is still unique to the way that we do it here in Singapore, And I think it's great if somebody can take up the challenge, put all the pictures and slides together and make it into a nice 2 or 3 minutes video that we can look back and enjoy, and also to remind ourselves what we did during the pandemic crisis. Now, let's go to the joint effort by all the 23 Rotary clubs in Singapore. There are several aspects to it. The first aspect is donations in collaboration with sister clubs. For this, I need to give credit to the Rotary Club of Jurong Town, especially President Teck Shing, for getting in touch with the Rotary Club of Taipei North. And Rotary Club of Taipei North has kindly agreed to donate 500 of these face shields. These face shields are to be used for the frontline healthcare workers. The face shields can be cleaned and can be reused. It's not a single-use disposable type. And for 500 pieces, it will cost about $3,000 US, including the shipping. So we are in the process of arranging the freight forwarding to Singapore. And these shields will be donated to the Parkway Pantai group. Parkway Pantai is one of the COVID-19 official isolation center. So we've managed to get into contact with them, and they're happy to receive this donation. So when the item actually arrive in Singapore, we will do the necessary thing to update all the clubs in Singapore. The second effort that we had is this donation from the District 3462 in Taiwan. So for this, I must give credit to Hazel, who's from the Rotary Foundation based in Singapore. A total of 46,000 of these masks have been donated to our District 3310. 20,000 has arrived in Singapore just today. I'll show you the pictures later. About 2 o'clock this afternoon, it arrived in my office. And the balance 26,000 will go to Johor. PP Fu from Batu Pahat will manage that. And on the bottom right, you see the Killing Coronavirus COVID-19. This will be the stickers that we'll put on the boxes. On top of that, we are recommending not to just distribute one box to one person, because there are 50 pieces of face masks inside. And I'll prepare Ziplocs that you can choose to split each box to smaller packets of 10 or 20 pieces. For that, I leave it to the individual club to decide. So this is the 8 boxes, 2, 4, 6, 10 boxes of face masks has just arrived in my office today at 2:30. So we'll unpack them, pack it into 23 different bags. We'll put the stickers in when they arrive. Stickers again, many thanks to PP Fu, who's printing it in Batu Pahat. I understand that it's been sent by courier already, and it will arrive after the weekend in my office. So you'll have the stickers, you'll have the Ziplocs, and we'll divide the boxes of masks into 23 different bags. And I'll make arrangement for the president of each club or their representative to come and collect from my office. Now, we received $7,000 US from the TRF Disaster Response Fund, as mentioned by District Governor just now. And this will be used to purchase reusable masks. We've already placed orders for 7,500 of these masks, 2,500 of the blue Rotary masks, as you see on the right, and another 2,500 of the multicolored ones with the Rotary logo and maybe even the word Singapore there. And we also ordered the same number of batik masks. Now, our capacity is to order up to 25 to 30,000. We are ordering in small batches to make sure that quality is maintained, and whatever changes to the request that we make from the initial samples that were sent to us can be fulfilled as well. So we hope to order more. I'll keep you updated with that. Now, coming back to the third and last part, which is the Global Grant Project. At this point, we've submitted just 2 days ago a global grant for $132,349 US dollars. Will be for donation of about 18,000 of this face shield to the Ministry of Health. This is the Ministry of Health request in Singapore. These are disposable face shield. They'll be used just for the day, single use, and they'll be thrown away after that. And we are negotiating to have the Rotary District 3310 together with the Singapore logo placed on the shield itself. Another aspect of the global grant is the supply of level 3 and level 4 isolation gowns. Now, level 3 and level 4 isolation gowns are not the gowns that you see the frontline healthcare workers using it, but the ministry has indicated that for gowns, they would prefer to receive at least level 3 and level 4, which are usually used for more high-risk procedures, including in the ICUs, So I thought this was also a good idea. We managed to track a supplier in Malaysia, and about almost 5,000 of these isolation gowns will be donated to the ministry as part of the global grant. Just for your information, each of these gowns costs about $18 Singapore. The last part is we have another budget to buy reusable masks. As you can see, we're exploring different designs, different suppliers. The good thing about this is that either we are working with Rotarians overseas who are supplying these masks, or we are helping local industry, especially those who are disabled and those who are affected by the COVID-19, to be able to use this as a source of income. And this is in collaboration with District 3420 in Solo and Surabaya. And many thanks to DG Fabry for helping me put this together. Just to show you the snapshot of the budget, as you can see from here, the budget totals up to about $1,332. As you can see, the funding, again, to make it very transparent, we have funding for from 27 different sources. So you can see the number of foreign sounding clubs who have come forward to contribute. These are mostly partners of the Rotary clubs in Singapore, from India, from Bangkok, from Sri Lanka, from Philippines. When the call went up, or rather when I invited them to participate in a global grant in Singapore, which is a rare thing, I think the past 7 years, we've not done more than 6 global grants in Singapore. So immediately, all those clubs have been involved with us in their country, readily come forward to support this process. Also, many thanks to number 20, 21, and 22. This is from the Rotary Club of Singapore East as well as Rotary Club of Bugis Junction. So many thanks to President Richard Ong and Cheng Kui for the help. There are a few other clubs that have also indicated, but the grant has already been put forward, but it's still not too late. When the grant is approved, there is still a chance for other clubs to donate as well if they wish. So a summary, the funding support is from 20 different clubs, 6 districts and 7 countries, including Nigeria as well, because we did quite a number of big projects in Nigeria, and the district governor, when he heard that we're going to do this, unhesitatingly pledged the DDF of $10,000. So you can see the support that we have here. The India clubs, we do a lot of projects in India, not only Rotary Club in Singapore, but other clubs as well. So this is the time for them to want to help us. When we do projects with them, we never ask them to reciprocate. We never ask anything in return. That's the joy of doing projects overseas. We must give, all right, not expecting anything in return. But as you can see from here, it's very heartening to see countries and clubs in India to come in and say, I'll give 1,000, I'll give 500, and clubs in Nigeria as well, and say, look, we must support whenever there's a project in Singapore, and this is how it is. So from Singapore and from District 3310, our contribution is 10% of the whole project. So we'll see how it is. I just want to highlight to all who are listening today that this project is not approved yet. It is still under consideration. It's taken us almost 3 weeks to get the final draft in. The reason is because it's a little bit difficult to deal with the Ministry of Health because they have certain requirements that we have to fulfill. And we are glad that we are at this stage. Once this project is approved, I will inform everybody else. All right. So as you can see, the initial wave response was about $161,000. And we're also preparing for the second wave, 50,000 available at district grant. We have DDF coming about $160,000 from 1st of July. And there's a need to do more of the small RM 5,000 ringgit project. We will work together with the District Disaster Response Committee and see how we can help with to manage the second wave of the pandemic. Thank you very much for those who are listening and celebrating Eid this Sunday. Eid Mubarak and Selamat Hari Raya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Past President Dr. Shahul, for a colorful presentation of in-depth, insightful understandings of so many clubs, joint initiatives, individual clubs, and global grant. A big thank you to Dr. Shahul and all fellow Rotarians and clubs in Singapore, and also from Rotarians from various countries. Thank you very much again. Now, May I invite our third distinguished panelist speaker, Charter President Chew Ban Seng from Rotary E Club of 3310, to share with us how clubs can respond to COVID-19 in terms of engagement of members and collaboration of service projects to serve the community. Let us give a round of applause to Charter President Chew Ban Seng. Over to you.
Thank you, Richard. I would like to say that I will speak specifically about Rotary E Club rather than clubs in general. Rotary E Club of 3310 is a relatively small club. We have about 30 plus members actively involved. I will speak specifically about 3 projects that we have done recently. The most important when we talk about fundraising, I think it's very important that you need to sell emotional appeal. When you sell emotional appeal, then the buy-in becomes much easier. The first project that we talk about for COVID-19, and we know that people in Malaysia with the MCO, life has been really difficult. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to talk about how can we support an orphanage in Ipoh. And it's a very simple project. And what we do is we basically give them school uniform, and hopefully we can do very much more than that. Now, how did I do that in terms of getting people in terms of financial support? It's basically going out to Rotarian, going out to friends of Rotary, as well as going out to the network, friends of Rotary. If you remember, recently the government says that all Singaporeans will get $600. And of course, many Rotarians and a lot of people may not necessarily require that kind of money. So the appeal that we went to talk to friends was basically says, look, if you have $100, if you don't need the money, why don't you contribute $100 or $50 from that $600 that you have available? And because it's the way in which we approach it and telling them and having a good cause, things was quite easy in terms of getting the funding. The second project that we did was together with the Rotary Club of Johor Straits View and Johor Pasigodang. And there was a request from Hospital Sultana Aminia in Johor Bahru to ask us to basically support and give them PPEs. Now, as I said, we are a small club. The best way to work is to work with collaboration with other clubs. And so when Johor Straits View came around to us to say that, would you like to participate? We say, yeah, why not? And it's going to do something that's a worthy cause. And that was how we got involved to produce 750 PPEs at the request of Hospital Sultana Aminia in Johor Bahru. The third project that we got involved as DJ Jeffrey as well as PP Shahul has said, it came in the form of the district grant of ringgit $5,000. I think one of the things that we Rotarians want to do is to really support the COVID. But of course, resources are limited. So I like really to work on leveraging of our network that's available. And so when we were given this opportunity to get the 5,000 ringgit from district grant, we say that, okay, we will look at the possibility of where and who we can support. And we decided that we would support the Lee Moyes Old Age Home, where they have 2 locations at Silat as well as at Thompson. So we have actually approached them to see what they want with the intention originally to supply them exclusively 3-ply surgical masks. But then they say that, look, we have a lot of masks. We like to take some of the masks from you, but can you also look at some of our urgent needs that we have? And so we say, yeah, why not? We'll look into that. And so they have came up with requests for us to supply them disposable latex examination gloves as well as urgently needed diapers. So ladies and gentlemen, you may be a small club like us, but if we have our network and the collaboration that's possible, we can engage our members and make and do much bigger things together. Thank you very much, Richard.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chartered President Chew Ban Seng, for sharing with us how a small club like E-Club can engage the members and still contribute to the community. Thank you very much for all the panel speakers for sharing your insight, your experiences of how we respond towards the COVID pandemic. Now it's a time for us to open to question and answer sessions. And we have a live video from a good friend of mine, past President John So, from Rotary Club of Jakarta Central, District 3410. And we will live stream what is a question that is posed to the panelists.
Hello and good evening, fellow Rotarians. This is PP John So from Rotary Club Jakarta Central, District 3410. As the largest service organization in the world, Rotary is here to help all levels of society who need to be helped and reach the unreached. So when the COVID-19 case broke out, the Rotary Disaster Relief Team in Indonesia immediately raised funds to help cope with disaster. And first priority was to help frontliners such as doctors, nurses, and other medical staff. In addition, providing food assistance to the poor. My question for DG Jeff Yong: how are I and District 3310 going to respond, and what strategies if COVID-19 continues? To PP Dr. Shahul Hameed, as the incoming District Foundation Chair, what are the district strategies and action plans for the clubs going forward? To CP BS Chew, the COVID-19 will be here for the next 6 to 12 months. How RCE Club 3310 is going to engage their members and recruit new members? What is your club doing in service projects with the circuit breakers measures? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. May I invite District Governor Jeff Yong to maybe respond to the first question? Thank you very much.
Okay, how we can? Thank you for the question. And for our district, what we are trying to do is we will continue to look at it. The second phase, as I said, that we are going to mobilize further. Another, we have in fact within our this district this Rotary Foundation Chair committee, we are planning to mobilize another 50,000 DDF through district grant for the clubs to apply for to do this. And we can even do it now if we really need it. At the moment, we don't see there's a need yet. When we really need it, we can mobilize this. We can reimburse this money from RI from our this Rotary year 2021 DDF. I suppose we have sufficient fund DDF for the next Rotary year. We should be able to mobilize all those funding. And even we can start doing this another round of global grant for all 4 regions. See the need of 4 regions. We still can do it. I think we are now focusing on this how we're going to fight this COVID-19. We together. I would think that we should be able to fight this better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, District Governor Jeff Yong. May I invite past President Dr. Shahul maybe to respond to the second question? Thank you very much.
Right.
Dr. Shahul?
Thank you, PP John So, for the questions. As far as the district is concerned, we are really happy that we have the infrastructure in place. We have the current district officers as well as the incoming district officers that made up of the task force that approved 38 projects from 45 clubs within a period of 5 weeks. Not only are the projects approved, the money has already been transferred to them within this short period. So infrastructure is excellent. Everybody's on standby. We are prepared to do more or less the same as we did the last time. We also have the capacity to raise funds for more projects if needed. And earlier just now, I said in my presentation some of the things that we've already done and some of the things that we can do again. There's no limit to the number of global grants that you can do. If the situation gets worse in Singapore, if our numbers hit 50,000 positive cases, Rotary can start applying for another grant for PPEs, and we should be able to raise the money that's required. I think maybe another aspect is to see how we can work together in our neighboring districts. 3410, 3420, and 3300. These are the closest district to us. We share many common origins together. And 3300 and our district have been in conversation, but unfortunately both districts have already started ideas for their own global grant, and we couldn't do one together. But I'm sure there are opportunities. We are supporting the 3300's project with DDF, and 3300 is also doing the same for us. For that, I'd like to thank DRFC Leslie as well as DG Leo for understanding and the help. But we hope to do more, not only in Singapore. Of course, Singapore is a priority. Our district is a priority. But we should also lend a hand to our neighbors if there's a need to. We are in close contact with PDG EVA. PDG EVA has given our district a request to support one of the COVID-19 global grant, which is currently in draft. So we'll examine it and see how we can help. We're also in close contact with PDG Al Purua from 3420 DRFC. So we have a very good network. We know them personally. We are personal friends. We keep in touch regularly. I'm sure there'll be great things that we can do with cooperation with all our neighboring districts as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Past President Dr. Shahul, to respond to the question. May I invite now Chartered President Chew Ban Seng to respond to the question that Past President John So has asked. Thank you.
Okay, the question that John So asked is, how is Rotary E-Club going to engage members and recruit new members? And also, what is our club doing as far as service projects in terms of the current situation? I think recession and the COVID-19 is a very good situation of as a learning curve, because in the past, whenever we say a recession has hit the market, then it's the best time to actually for businessmen and executive to go back to business school and study, because that's the time when it's available for people to have available time in order to spend to study. Also for people who are graduating, because jobs are going to be scarce, then the best thing to do is prolong your education and go back to school. But COVID-19 is totally different. And even business schools, if you look at business schools are rethinking what they are going to do, because they are actually getting less and less students. And so one of the things that people will do, as far even in terms of universities, is actually to talk about online training. But online training itself is not enough, because we got to talk about engaging people. Otherwise, they will say, let's reduce fee. And from this perspective, I want to go back to the core of what a Rotarian is. Because unlike other service organizations, a Rotarian serves through his vocation. That means whatever is your core expertise, whatever is your job expertise, you use that to serve community. One of the things that we could look at in terms of being able to use this type of expertise and expose yourself to the world is, of course, number one, webinar. And in terms of webinar, there are so many things that you can actually do. For instance, people are looking for a job, but they do not know how to write CVs. A lot of time people write CVs and they think that, my CV is very good and it's enough to get me the job. But in society, that's really not the case. We have people like PP Palita, who was involved in recruitment. We could get her to share with society how you should write CV from the perspective of the employer. It's not about me bullshitting and saying, well, how good I am, but it's about the employer looking for certain qualities that makes you the exceptional candidates. In COVID-19, one of the things that we need to do is to look among our members and even amongst clubs that's outside, where we have good counselors and psychologists to share with us how to build resilience, how to build grit. That's very important because you look at what's happening with COVID-19. A lot of people have psychological problem. To be confined in circuit breaker, they cannot take it. What's happening? They go crazy. They go outside. You tell them it costs you $300 just to have to eat here. They say, never mind. I'm prepared to pay the fine. And they do all sort of funny things. And this is all as a result of stress. We have a lot of stress within family. Family violence is quite a common thing now, and it's on the increase because of COVID-19. The other thing is also what we can do as Rotarians is to engage Rotaractors. Rotaractors have been elevated to be partners in service. What are they good at? They are definitely very good at social media skills, IT. This is something that a lot of us need. And if we can engage them and get them to help us, I think we will be able to attract them and possibly bring them into our fold as members of Rotary E-Club 3310. So my answer to that is there are a lot of things that you can do. It all needs imagination. And you got to think out of the box in order to be successful and to get what you want. That's what I want to share briefly, and we can talk a little bit more if you want to. Richard?
Thank you very much, Charter President Chew Ban Seng. I think two lessons that we can take away is that really the Rotarians and Rotaractors should be partners in service and working together, so that for us, that a lot of the Rotaractors are saying that the Rotarians refuse to change. And we always say that the Rotaractors are dreamers and idealists. So it's really a time for us, the Rotaractors and Rotarians, to work together to better serve the community. And of course, Charter President Chew Ban Seng has also re-emphasized of serving the community through our vocational service. I think time is a little bit tight. Let us quickly show another video. We had a question coming from Rotary Club of Moa. Technical advisor.
Good evening to the esteemed panel, DG Jeff Yong, PP Dr. Shahul Hameed, Charter President Chew Ban Seng, and Moderator IPP Richard Ong. I'm Silan Rameshatikan from the Rotary Club of Moa. Firstly, for DG Jeff and the team, we would like to acknowledge the efforts and success of our DG and the COVID-19 response task force, who did an excellent job in ensuring rapid response for many matching grants with many Rotary clubs all over our district 3310, mainly for the vulnerable community and for our frontliners. Well done. My question, I would like to inquire from DG Jeff and the esteemed panelists. Question is, how is Rotary International planning on assisting Rotary clubs and Rotarians in the coming year 2020-2021? There are Rotarians who have been impacted by the economic challenges. After all, charity begins at home. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Due to the time constraint, I would like the panelist speaker each to be given 3 minutes in response to PP salient question and also to round up for tonight's discussion. DG Jeff Yong, please.
This is the question for Rotarians. I would think that as a Rotarians, that we in the clubs we should try to help each other. We should members should try to help each other. Those who really need help first. So I will urge that if any clubs have this Rotarian facing some these problems, and seat your members, your own clubs to help you out. See how to solve your immediate problems. Yeah. So that is the in terms of RI, there is no guideline of helping this Rotarian as such. The only thing is the only guideline is asking us to apply for the global grant, district grant, and they give us a very easy way to apply to get this grant approved. And secondly, they are asking us to in order to because we cannot meet each other, we can meet this in online. They will save a lot of money to meet online. We can not always do online meeting, so that also save a lot of money and for Rotarians to go out for dining and this meeting. So that's all. Silan, this is I think that if whoever members have problems, I think should seat their own members to help each other out during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahul.
Well, I share the same sentiment as District Governor Jeff. I think in Rotary it's always vocation first, right, and then it's club first, and then it's everything else. All right, and the fellowship and friendship that you have built with your fellow club members, this is the time that it has come into play. Of course, we should help our own members first, as mentioned in several chat groups. But let's not forget that we are also here to do service to others as well. And as far as our own club are concerned, I think that we have a framework available, and our club members who have fallen into difficult times before have always looked upon our fellow members to help them. And think wherever that is possible, of course, we'll be there to help. So other than that, I share what Governor Jeff said, more or less. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Charter President Ban Seng?
I think the answer is everything depends on themselves, what they want. Because the club, in terms of resources, everything is limited. But it's very important that the person who needs help must be resourceful. I use the word resourceful because he or she needs to go out and meet people. Rotarians are a special animal. Basically, they serve through their vocations. So what one needs to do is really to find somebody who is in the same profession or in the same line of industry so that they can actually talk to them, ask for advice, get guidance, and maybe they can point them somewhere useful in terms of job opportunities or the personal development that they need to do, and in order to be able to get the necessary skills to be able to do new stuff that they have not been able to do. So in other words, I would say go back to yourself first, then look within your club, look within the Singapore clubs, and then go into looking at districts as well. That's how I would see it from that perspective, helping yourself.
Thank you very much, Charter President Chew Ban Seng. In summary, I think we are quite on the time. In summary, first, I would like to acknowledge a big thank you to my technical host, advisor, past president Clarence Yong from Rotary Club of Kuching Central. I'd like to thank you all the distinguished panelists, speakers, District Governor Jeff Yong, past president Dr. Shahul, Chartered President Chew Ban Seng, for sharing all your experiences and giving us all the insights. For me, I've learned so much. And I also want to thank all the participants from Malaysia, from Kuching, from Indonesia, from many that in the short period of 4 years as a Rotarians, I meet so much friends. And I think fellowship is the foundation of Rotary. We are a membership service organization. We must contribute time, talent, treasure, and teamwork. And I think the last T was the most challenging. And I really strongly encourage all fellow Rotarians, despite all your challenges, to come together, be the inspiration. Rotary connects, and Rotary opens opportunities for all of us to serve the community. I'd like to do a closing remark by Mother Teresa. Small things done with great love change the world. With that, I would say thank you everyone for a wonderful evening. The panel discussion is ended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rotary International. Thank you.